Welcome to another episode of What's New at AVAIL. My name is Randall Stevens. I'm going to spend time in this video talking about several exciting features that we have, both new and relatively new regarding Revit. So we've done quite a bit of work over the last few years with solving some very complicated problems that exist in trying to manage and deliver Revit content. So I'm happy to take a little time here and walk you through if you haven't had a chance to see those. So let's start actually inside of Revit. I want to show you the latest Revit add-in. We rebranded that last year as the Project Navigator. So as the name implies, Project Navigator was designed to help you find, locate resources that are inside the project while you're inside of a Revit project, not just out of your library. Obviously search is a big part of that, search and browsing, but you can also open up AVAIL and actually search AVAIL directly from here, which is what I'll show you here in a second. But the first thing you'll notice is that we've broken the content up by the different kind of element types. So if, for instance, I was just wanting to look for a certain plan, maybe I'm looking for a level 1 plan on this project. There you can see that we found that. And if you look at the iconography over on the right, we'll show you that floor plan level 1 is actually on a sheet and tell you which sheet that it's on. But if I just double click on that, it's just like navigating inside the project browser inside of Revit. It's just going to open that up and let me get to that very easily. So I'll just kind of start there with that as a navigation tool. But you can also do things like, let's say that we're looking for a specific door type. So I can start searching the project for door, and then I can actually filter down. So if there were specific door families that I was looking for inside of the project, you can identify those. You can open up, we'll show you the types. We'll actually show you, this is an important distinction between what you can do in just the built-in project browser in Revit. But we'll actually show you if the types have been used and actually how many instances of those. So as an example, here you can see this double flush door passage. There's the type, there's 4 instances. If I actually click on that, it'll open up what we call the Instance Navigator. And what's unique about this is we can show you those 4 instances. By default, this is grouped by which room that they're in, but you can also change and show me which level those are on. So here's one that's on level 1. And if I want to jump straight to that, I can just say navigate to that instance, and it's going to jump me right in there to where that was. So a very popular feature, the ability to search and navigate to instances inside of one of your projects is not something that's a standard feature of Revit. So the other important thing to understand about Project Navigator is that this is backwardly compatible all the way to Revit 2019. So as we've deployed this capability, it's backward compatible. You don't have to wait till the next version of Revit to take advantage of it. You can start taking advantage of these capabilities today. So the other thing then that you need to understand about the Project Navigator is that once you're searching inside of the project, but if what you need is not there, you're just one click away from executing that same search inside of AVAIL. So this leads me to the latest feature that we want to show you that we've added in support of Revit content management and the workflows inside of Revit. So in this example where I've searched for doors on my project, you'll notice that this content requires each object to be downloaded, each of these doors as you want to use them. So I'm going to go ahead and click download on that door type, and I'm just going to kind of position this over here. Let's go over to my project, and this won't necessarily make sense, but I'm just going to drag and drop that door now over to Revit, and you'll notice that there are what we call the content window that's showing me now the types. We put little check marks beside telling you which of those types of that door are already loaded into the project, and I can either choose one of those or I can choose to add a new type and bring that in. And of course it wants to know, do I want to overwrite the current version or not, as it loads and brings that data in from the outside library. So here I'm just going to drop this on this wall. Again, may not make sense in this project context, but you get the idea. So what you're what you didn't see there was any type of need to upgrade in the project session that particular item that I downloaded. So if you notice, I'm running in Revit 2024. I'm going to go ahead and bring the AVAIL Desktop back up and talk a little bit now about this new feature called Revit Application Version Management. So in this channel, all of this content originated as Revit 2023 library. So all of this information was published as Revit 2023 content into this channel. What you're not seeing is that when we hosted this channel to the cloud location, behind the scenes, we had enabled this new Revit Application Version Management feature. So when I downloaded those files, if I right-click and say Open the Location, what you're going to see is that in the cache, there is the original Revit 2023 file, but if I look in this Files folder, you'll see that we've created versions for Revit 2024 and Revit 2025, which came down at the same time. So whether or not you were, working, going back and forth between versions of Revit or not, we would always have the available, proper Revit version of that family available for you to bring into the project. What you'll also notice was that the user didn't have to know or think about that. The AVAIL plugin inside of Revit recognized which version of Revit it's in. When that content was brought in from this library, you'll notice that there's no indication of which version, nor should the user have to care about which version of Revit they're in. It's just a matter of then using the content as they normally would and having to skip over that there was any kind of application upgrades, Revit version upgrades that had to happen. The Revit Application Version Management will require you to contact our customer success team. They'll be happy to walk you through how to get that enabled, and you can take advantage of it inside of your firm.